Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing really well today. I apologize for being 4 minutes late. I'm not usually late. I could not get into Facebook. Facebook's being like it's changing. Something's going on in Facebook and it's hard to do things. So I'm glad I made it on. If you're able to make it on, say hello in the chat, and I would love to say hi to you. Let's see if anybody is able to get on. I get to see so I use this thing called StreamYard. I think there's a little URL up here, a link. You can click on that if you want, and I'll be able to see your name. If you don't want to click on that and you make a comment, I won't be able to see your name, and that's okay too. Awesome. Somebody just came in and said hello, so I know it's probably working. Let's see. Okay, awesome. I think I just got a message that it's working and I'm live. So hopefully you guys can see me and hear me. And who knows what's going on in Facebook? Like, we just keep on moving forward the best we can. Okay, today I come on every Tuesday to give you some like tool or tip or inspiration. And today we're talking a little bit about intuitive life coaching, because next week I am doing an entire 5-day plus the weekend challenge on becoming a prosperous intuitive life coach. So I thought today might be a good thing to talk about, like, let's look inside what it's really like to be an intuitive life coach. So really, I have a few things I want to say about it, but I'd love your questions if you have any, if there's anybody here live. And if you're catching the replay, that's fine. Just put replay and ask your questions. I've been pretty good about coming back to these lives and answering your questions. So intuitive life coaching, I'll just quickly share my path with you. And if this excites you or is interesting to you, then join the challenge next week. So I was a teacher for many years ago. I taught fourth grade for many years. Once I started having my own children, I stayed home with them. I have 3 girls and an awesome husband. And once I started to stay home with my girls, I didn't want to teach anymore. I wanted to stay home and hang out with them. But so I had this freedom in my life now. I mean, the girls, they kept me busy, like all of you know who are moms. You're super busy. But I had time to read and I had time to explore. The internet was pretty new back then. So, it didn't have, we still had magazines and books and stuff like that. And a little bit of the internet, like we had chat rooms back then. I was starting to hang out with like-minded people, but mostly I was in doing things, either reading about psychic and intuitive development, because that was my passion. I just loved it. I loved it my entire life. I didn't think I was an intuitive because I grew up believing you had to be born with it. And I knew I was a sensitive soul, but I didn't think that was connected to being intuitive, which it is, for any of you still wondering about that. So anyway, on this path, I was taking care of my kids, and I was on this path of discovering my psychic and intuitive abilities, because that was my passion outside of taking care of my kids. I love my kids, but I could feel that there was something more in me. Like I just had other interests too that I wanted to explore. And one of those was psychic and intuitive development. I've read books, I studied, I practiced as much as I could on my own. Eventually, I joined groups in person because online wasn't a big thing yet. And I met friends there. I met like-minded people. I was scared. I was nervous. I had so much self-doubt. All of that happened. And eventually, I started, after many years, teaching psychic and intuitive development. I loved how much I learned and grew from going to circles and development classes. I wanted to hold them. I wanted to create spaces for people to develop their abilities, because it was like the biggest change in my life. So I started to do that in person at different places. I eventually got an office space. I held classes and workshops, and I absolutely loved it. I also had private clients, first as an intuitive and a medium. Eventually, I didn't want to give everyone the answers to their lives. Like, it was a little bit, I was entertaining people as a psychic medium. People would come in and they're like so excited, like, I'm getting a reading. And I would be telling them things about their life. And it was exciting and healing, but I could tell I was evolving out of that. or evolving beyond that or something. I was evolving into coaching. I wanted to work with people who wanted to make changes in their life. Do you feel the difference? I was kind of like entertaining people at reading parties, going to women's houses, or having people at my clients. They would get readings, and then they felt like they needed to come back to me to get another reading when they needed it. And I didn't want it to be like that. I wanted to empower people. I want people to come to me now and say, hey, Michelle, I need your help with this, or I want to work on this in my life, or this is the pattern I see, or this is like the part of a pattern that I want to help. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So I call that now intuitive life coaching. And that's where I've evolved to today. In that process, I was barely charging for my services like so many of you. So kind of think about where you are on this path. Are you just like discovering that you want to help people? Maybe you're already helping people, but you're not charging for your services yet. Or maybe you're barely charging for your services and barely making money. As an intuitive life coach that I am today, I consider myself a prosperous intuitive life coach. I make great money doing what I love, helping people, serving people. I want that for whoever else wants it. Okay? You guys, what do you think about that? Now, hi everybody. I see lots of Facebook users on this. Lori, good to see you. Robin, good to see you. This is really a discussion about like intuitive life coaching, but I want to bring in the money. I want to bring in the prosperous part. For years, my own intuition, my own guidance was saying, Michelle, what you really are meant to do is to help people become healthy, wealthy healers. I heard it over and over again. Healthy, wealthy healers. Healthy, wealthy healers. I want to help women get healthy if they need it, mentally, physically, emotionally, mindset, their own health. And then we move into wealth. And I do mean financial wealth, but I also mean physical, emotional wealth and abundance. I mean it on all levels. It's okay. Somebody just said, I'm sorry, I'm late. No worries. I really want to help women become prosperous intuitive life coaches. Now, here's where I get some resistance. And I had it too. They'll say, Michelle, I don't really care about the money. I just want to serve people. I was like that too. But there's a lot. I'm going to go into this next week in the challenge. We're going to talk about a lot about money and the importance of you charging for your services. We charge because our time and expertise is valuable, just like any other industry, any other industry. It's valuable. Gosh, you guys, I learned this lesson the hard way. It took years of struggling with my health, with my finance, to finally break this mindset and pattern. If I can expedite this process for you, I want to. Somebody just said, I don't help for pay. I only help on the fly. Just feels a little guilty for charging. Yeah. How many of you feel guilty if you charged for your helping? How many people would feel guilty? Be honest. Let's have a real conversation. I don't want to be the lady who stands here or sits here and goes, we charge for our services now. I want to clear the crap and old ways of thinking, and then we can step into the new mind. Does that make sense? Okay, probably me. Sabrina, thank you. I felt the exact same way. I felt guilty. I'm like, well, these people are my friends. Some of these people are my family members. And then sometimes a friend would tell another friend, and then her friend would call me, and I didn't really have prices yet. So I was just like, I'll just help you. Can you relate to this? We want to change that for you. I want to help you change that if you want to. You get to stay that way if you like it. It's easier to stay that way. It's not that, if it's fulfilling for you, great. Most of you, if you're here and listening to this, There's something more in you. It's not as fulfilling as it could be. So you get to stay that way if you want, or you can start expanding what's possible for you. I'm going to share what's possible for you with my life. I am an intuitive life coach. I have put my stake in the ground. I show up in the world and speak about me being an intuitive life coach. I share my services, hopefully in a nice way. I share my prices with people. I don't work with people for free anymore. People who pay for sessions get more out of sessions than people who don't pay. And I want people to get the most out of their sessions, so they have to pay. And I hope this doesn't sound creepy the way I'm saying it. I just want it to be super neutral and clear how I'm saying it. I want you to start thinking about this being true for you. I have a family and friends rate that's discounted for my family and friends. So now my family and friends, we have is it a boundary? We have clear expectations. They get a discount, but they still pay for my services, because I know people who pay for services get more out of it. People who have skin in the game, people who have invested in their life, take it seriously. People who take it seriously create the change that they want. Does that make sense, you guys? And then someone just brought up another point. It's called the energy exchange. So important. An energy exchange is someone gives you something and you give them something back. You can do this in many ways. The way I want you to learn how to do it is, the way I do it is someone gives me money and I give them intuitive life coaching or something else that I offer. That the money is energy, and I receive that, they give it, and I give my expertise, my coaching. They receive that way more if they pay. They're able to take it in more. That is an energy exchange. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm sounding like a robot today, but I want us to stay neutral with these concepts. Like, it's not right or wrong to do it. You choose what you want. I want you to start thinking bigger for yourself. If the emotional stuff comes up around it, great. We can work on that and heal it. But you're allowed to be anything you want, and you're allowed to charge anything you want. And the more you are clear about who you are, what you offer, and what you charge, the more you embody it, the faster those clients come in. Seriously. But there's inner work to do around it as you grow into that. What do you guys think? I feel like a real boss today, or a robot today, but I don't want this to be emotional. I want it to just be. Okay, Robin just said, seems like most people are having money issues, so it's hard. Robin, that's a limited mindset. That's it. There's plenty of people who don't have money issues. And there are people who are having money issues. But let's be honest, there's people who aren't. There's people who have thrived. Their businesses got bigger and better during COVID. There's some people, their lives got financially worse during COVID. Like that, I just want you to see both. I'm not eliminating anyone, but I just want you to expand on the truth. Like, both have been true. Okay, good. You like the ideas. I'm not being a robot. Good, because I feel like it. I do not want to, you know how we are empaths and sensitives? The way I'm talking today is not very empathic, is it? Because I need to take, all right, I always want to take the empathy part out, because we're so strong in serving and helping and it tears us down because we don't have that energy exchange. Like, let's be honest. How many of you are helping people, friends, family? Honestly, you're coaching, you're helping, you're giving your guidance, and there's nothing coming back. There's no reciprocating. They're not supporting you, or they're not paying you. There's not an equal exchange. How many of you have felt that? I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just asking, have you felt that? Yes or no in the chat? All the time. Robin said, thank you. You're so right. Good, Robin. Like, maybe just thinking, like, just keep thinking about that. Yes. Okay, guys, for those of you who've had this lack of energy exchange, equal energy exchange, when you were giving, and people were taking, what happened to you? What happened to your health? What happened to your mental health, physical health? What happened to your finances? What happened to your time? Be honest. What happened to you when it wasn't an equal energy exchange? What happened? Weakened. Yes. Anybody else? Think about your life. What happens when you give, and it's not reciprocated? This is our biggest thing as empaths: burnout. What else? Draining. I get tired. I could cry thinking about this. You guys, this is really important. Okay. Taken for granted. Keep writing them in. I'm sweating now. Frustration. Yeah, you guys know this is what happens to us. This is our biggest issue. Is if that doesn't create a thriving empath. I want you to be a thriving empath. If you keep giving, and you don't set up expectations and boundaries or figure things out that it can be more equal in your life, you will be frustrated, taken for granted, depressed, tired, bitter, drained, all those things. And then you are not a thriving empath. You're not living the life that you're meant to live. That's just a fact. And I don't want that for any of us. I don't want that for any of us. I want us to be thriving empaths. And here are some characteristics of a thriving empath. Thriving empaths understand energy exchange. They have balance of giving and receiving. Could be receiving money. It could be receiving support. It could come in lots of different ways. But you understand that giving and receiving creates a thriving you. Does that make sense? What else is a characteristic of a thriving empath? She's doing what she loves most of the time. I think what we love, I know I'm projecting my own stuff, but I really do attract the younger versions of me. And maybe not younger in age, but younger in like where you are on the path of this. We are meant to serve and help people in an equal energy exchange for you to stay healthy. Does that make sense? We are meant to serve and help people. We're meant to help people's lives be better. Maybe animals, maybe the planet too. I'm into people right now. I know some of the people that I help are into helping animals, which is awesome. We want to do that as an equal exchange. Doesn't have to be money, but it can be. Okay, good. What do you think it would feel like if you were a coach? You can call yourself whatever. You can call yourself an intuitive coach, a life coach. If you can call yourself a healer. What if when you woke up every day, that you were helping people and they were paying you and you felt good about it? You felt good about the exchange. You could see that their lives were getting better because they tell you their lives are better. and then you are getting paid for that, how would that feel to you? Happy, healthy, fulfilled. Yes. Good. I'm glad I'm making sense. Awesome. Successful. Robin said, thinking we could use a class on how to say no more efficiently. Love that, Robin. Yeah, you would share and thank you. Feel amazing. It does feel amazing. It really does. I feel also more in control and clear in my life. My energy doesn't fall into everybody else's stuff now. Does that make sense? Like I feel like I know who I am and who I serve, and I hold it so clearly, not strongly. I just kind of embody it now that it's unconsciously clear to everybody else. It benefits both. It's fulfilling. Yes, yes. I have a guilt block. That's awesome. That's great. Like I'm so glad you know it. That's great. A guilt block is just a block. We can clear that. I would feel more recognized. Yeah, I think one of our human needs is to be seen, heard, loved unconditionally. This is a path to that. Somebody else said, I'm in the middle because I feel I'm meant to help out of good heart, but at the same time, I do it so much that with pay feel more fulfilled. Okay, so you're in the middle. Okay, awesome. So I know that feeling of being in the middle. There's people that I want to serve that can't afford my services. So I'll just share more about that next week because I know I'm running over. I could go on and on about this. There are ways for us to work around that feeling of in the middle. And don't let me forget next week during the challenge to talk about that. Okay. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Again, you heard me talking about, I hope this was helpful. An inside look at being an intuitive life coach. It kind of went, I don't know. I didn't have a big plan. I wanted to just go by what your thoughts and feelings were. I wanted to see like where you were and move from there. But I want us to be thriving empaths. I want us to be thriving life coaches and prosperous on all levels, abundant health, abundant finance, abundant mind, abundant clients, abundant life, all of that. I really, really want that. I've created it. And I mean, it's not all rainbows. I have hard days too, like everybody, but it's a good life. And I am opening the doors to you and like, join me, at least join me next week for the intuitive life, becoming a prosperous intuitive life coach. Join me there. If you're interested, you probably already signed up because we have so many people signed up. If you haven't signed up yet, just say in the chat, sign me up, or give me the link, or yes, I'm interested, and I'll make sure you get it. We'll reach out to you. Facebook's being really weird right now and not letting us talk to people very easily. So we'll do our best. You can always message me on Facebook Messenger. If you message me, then I'm allowed to message you. Otherwise, it restricts me. What else? I think that's it. I'll make sure you get the link here, or if you message me, I'll get you the link and we'll reach out to you. Okay, thank you so much for being here, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. The challenge starts Monday, noon, every day. We're live here in the Facebook group, and I can't wait to get started. Okay, bye.